Friday morning on Melrose Mountain, and it's 52 degrees out now. It was about 32 this morning at 6 o'clock, and it's still pretty outside, but the leaves really came down during the last windstorm that we had, and so the colors are now more browns, less yellows, less reds, and a lot less leaves. Those are all over my driveway. It's still no shave on November, and you can see I shaved my cheeks, but not my mustache or my little goatee. Don't know how much longer I can leave it like that, but just want to remind you guys, this is a prostate awareness time, the #1 killer for men, so please get your annual prostate exam. Have you ever noticed you can't please some people, and no matter what you do, you can't upset anybody? I remember a story about two little boys that belonged to the same family. One was an optimistic boy, one was a pessimistic boy. They both wanted bicycles for Christmas. Both of them knew that the parents probably couldn't afford to buy 2 bicycles for Christmas. The parents, wanting to break their optimistic son of his tremendous optimism, decided not to give him a bicycle, but to give the bicycle to the pessimistic son. Well, they decided to extremes. The little boy that was optimistic, they would not only not give him a bicycle, but they would fill his room with manure. On Christmas morning, the little boy came down that was pessimistic, saw the bicycle under the Christmas tree, saw that it was addressed to him and none to his brother, and he looked at his parents and he said, "You bought that for me so that I'd fall off of it and hurt myself," still being very pessimistic. The little boy who didn't get a bicycle went up to his room, believing that perhaps they'd put the bicycle in his room, being so optimistic, and he found the manure all over his room. And as he started walking around through the manure and putting his hands down in it, his parents said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I know there's got to be a pony here someplace." Well, it's wonderful to be optimistic, and it's not so good to be pessimistic. But Jesus dealt with that issue in Luke chapter 7. To what should I compare this generation and what they're like? They're like children who sit in the marketplace and call to one another, and they say, "We played the flute for you, and you did not dance. We sang a dirge, and you did not weep. For John the Baptist has come, eating no bread, drinking no wine, and you say that he is a demon. The Son of Man has come, eating and drinking, and you say, behold, a gluttonous man, and a drunkard, and a friend of tax gatherers and sinners. Yet wisdom is vindicated by all her children." Yes, you can't please some people when it comes to Jesus. A lot of people say, why did God allow such a terrible thing to happen? Why could God possibly live if he allows the kind of things that are going on in the world today? Then others are frustrated and say, why does God put such restrictions upon us? Why does he want us not to have any fun? Why is it that he has so many rules and regulations? You see, no matter how God is, there's always going to be somebody that's frustrated and not like the way he is. And yet God is God. And God has given man a free will to do whatever he wants. However, many times he has to suffer the consequences of his free will. And many times others around him suffer the consequences of man's free will. And God has a permissive will. Sometimes he just allows those things to happen because he doesn't want us to be a bunch of puppets without a free will, without any control over what we do or what happens to us. The fact of the matter is we just need to trust God, believe he's on his throne, and that the things of this earth are not the most important things, and we'll be vindicated by the wisdom that we have in choosing him. You see, the people of Jesus' day had rejected John the Baptist, even though he had great restraint in his life. And they rejected Jesus even when he showed the freedom that a Christian can have. You see, you can't please everybody. But God's rules and regulations are for our benefit, not for his. And when he tells us to do things and to not do things, they're for our joy in our life. That's why Jesus said, I've come that you might have life and you might have it abundantly. Next time you feel frustrated by God allowing something to happen, remember he's given us free will. And the next time you become frustrated by his rules and his regulations and by what his desires are, remember that it's for you, not for him. He knows that you'll enjoy life if you follow his perfect will for your life. So today, don't be frustrated. Don't be frustrated by rules and regulations, and don't be frustrated because of what God allows to happen. Know that God's on his throne. Ultimately, he'll reveal all of his purposes for everything that happens. And you'll know that it's best for us to have free will. And you'll be vindicated by your righteousness, your wisdom, by selecting him as your Savior. God bless you and have a good day.